It's a good day to talk some football. So I came across a tweet today. Top 5 AFC receiving corps. And somebody's paying somebody. Their top 5 receiving corps, according to PFF, was the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Bills, and the Chiefs. Now, as I look at this list, they got 2 teams right. But the other 3 teams, I don't know what they're talking about. So, let's talk about the teams that they got wrong. Out of these 5 teams, the Chiefs shouldn't be there, the Bills shouldn't be there, and the Raiders shouldn't be there. Let's start with the Bills. Outside of Stephon Diggs, who do they have? I mean, yeah, as long as Stephon Diggs is wearing the Bills jersey, their receiving corps will be a top unit in all of the NFL. Just not top 5 in their own conference. I mean, outside of Diggs, they have the Gabe Davis, who has dwindled as time progressed. After that one crazy playoff game versus the Chiefs, he's kind of been missing in action. I mean, yeah, he is a solid deep threat. Just looking at the stats, he ranks top 5 at the position in deep touchdowns since 2021. But as of late, he hasn't been trustworthy enough. And outside of Gabe Davis, you have Khalil Shakur, who was a rookie last year. He's a nice slot. And they just drafted Dalton Kincaid. Hey, that was a good pickup for a tight end room that already had Dawson Knox. So, yeah, they got some good pieces. I just don't see them being top 5 in the AFC. I got teams that's ranked way ahead of them. But Stephon Diggs is the only reason why they're in contention and in the conversation. But, nah, they gotta go. The next team I want to talk about, the Chiefs. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl. But we're talking about receiving corps. They have one player, and that player plays tight end. Now, he might be the most dangerous weapon in all the AFC, but him by himself doesn't make them a top 5 unit in the AFC. They have MVS, a former Packers player. He's a solid 2, maybe 3. They have Kadarius Toney, former Giant, freak athlete. But is he really that player that will make this unit a top 5 in the AFC? Not yet. Potentially, but not yet. And then the last team on this top 5 list, according to PFF, is the Raiders. They have Devontae Adams. I mean, Hunter Renfrow, was he hurt last year or did he just have a bad year? I think it was a mixture of both. They lost their top tight end and Darren Waller. So outside of Devontae Adams, now let's talk about the 2 teams they did get right and the 3 additional teams that should have been on this list instead of the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Raiders. First, we have a 1A and 1B. I don't know which core is better between the Dolphins and the Bengals. Because let's talk about the Bengals. They got Jamar Chase, who was probably on the road to be the best receiver in the league. T. Higgins, he's considered their number 2 receiver, but hey, he could be a 1B. T. Higgins is nice. 6'4", deep threat, good hands, good routes. Then they're number 3, Tyler Boyd. On any other team, I think Tyler Boyd could be a number 2. So those 3 right there. And don't forget in their backfield, they got running backs who can catch the rock. Yo, the Bengals is a real strong receiving corps. Maybe number 1 in all of NFL. But the number 2 team or 1B is the Dolphins. I mean, if we're talking duos, I think I will take the Dolphins duo over the Bengals duo, which has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Those are 2 of the fastest receivers in all of the NFL, and speed kills. I mean, the Dolphins did just lose their starting tight end, Mike Gesicki, but hey, they still got 2 speed demons, and that's all you need. Now, if we're talking about duos, like I said, Miami, they have the better duo because I'm taking Waddle and Hill over T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. But we're talking about a whole unit, I might have to give it to the Bengals because they have that number 3 option. And as of right now, the Dolphins' number 3 option may be Cedric Wilson, but he barely got any burn last year. So that number 3 spot is still up for debate, which makes them my 1B. Now for the 3 teams to replace PFF bogus list, I have at number 3, the Chargers. People sleep on Keenan Allen. He might run some of the best routes outside of Devontae Adams in the league. Watch the film. And they got Mike Williams. Tall guy, nice vertical deep threat. They just drafted another 6'4" receiver in Quentin Johnson. Watch some film in OTAs and minicamp. Quentin Johnson looks the part. Then your running back, Austin Eckler. He's a nice receiving threat. So I don't know why in the world the Chargers was not on this list, but they're number 3 on my list for the top 5 receiving corps in the AFC. Coming in at number 4, I'm going to have to go with the Jaguars. They had Calvin Ridley. A lot of people is forgetting who Calvin Ridley is. Alabama Calvin Ridley. Falcons Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a beast. And he has Trevor Lawrence getting on the rock now. Yeah, watch out for that. They got Christian Kirk, a nice little slot. He was getting busy this past season. And they got Zay Jones, the same Zay Jones that was carving up my Dallas Cowboys. So you know he got respect on this channel. And at tight end, Evan Ingram. The Jaguars, they're slept on. And then to round off my top 5, I'll have to go with the Jets. They have Garrett Wilson, reigning offensive rookie player of the year. Nasty. Outside of him, they got a speed demon in McCole Hardman. They got Alan Lazard, nice deep threat. And there you have it, the top 5 receiver corps in the AFC. If you like this type of content, go ahead and leave a like. If you disagree with my list, go ahead and comment below who's your top 5, because I'm going to be honest with you. The Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Bills, somebody's paying somebody because they shouldn't be in the top 5.